you join us today, having slept in a car park, in a van, in deep, dark Glossop. Tom took the master bed, whilst the elephant was sat in the peasants' quarters way below. We started with an ambrosio rice for breakfast, both of us enjoying our deep, delicious rice pudding, filled up our bottles, and got ready to hit the road. Here is our day. In an imaginary world, Tom didn't put my camera into slow-mo, and it's this morning of the second day of our Peaks adventure. Today we are doing our biggest day, a marathon across the three biggest climbs, which are Kinder Scout, High Stones and Bleaklow. We just had a lovely night's sleep in the van. That's my bed, that's Tom's up there. Fortunately, I can't share the executive bed with him because he refuses to sleep anything but naked, and I don't want to sleep next to that. Anyway, this is our route for the day. So we start down in Glossop over here. We take on this first climb, which takes us up to 1,700 feet, about 600 metres or so. And that's not actually one of our main climbs, that's Mill Hill. So that's our first of the bonus climbs. We then drop down past the reservoir and up to the top of our first major climb, which is Kinder Scout. We then drop down Jacob's Ladder and a sharp left back up onto the Kinder Scout Plain, where we run along the top for a little bit. Then we drop down to take on our last two climbs and two of the biggest in the Peak District, which are High Stones here and then Bleaklow here. Then we drop down towards Glossop for a bonus cockhill just here, and then into town for a rest. So it's 26.4 miles, so just over a marathon, about 43k or so. Let's get into it. Enjoy the slow-mo montage. And for reference, the slow-mo montage will end about here. So 8k in, when I noticed that Tom had put my camera onto slow-mo. Thanks a lot. I think I've been filming in slow-mo for the last, I don't know how long.
I'm loving all your morning pics in slow-mo too.
I think I would have I think I would have noticed if it was all like that. More steep descending. The type of descent I hate.
Try the poles on it.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm not sure if it's better or worse.
Are you clipped in?
No.
I think it's better without.
Skier.
That's what Borat was doing in Wales, he said. He said it was just skiing down the descent.
That was the hardest thing I've ever done.
He did finish 3 hours after me though, so I think no poles is a better way. That was a steep, nasty little climb. Tom's just there. He's got a bit of a hamstring niggle. He's had for months. Maybe you should go to a physio. So my watch has just beeped for 7 miles. So we've got, it says 20 to go. He's not going to be happy that the route is actually more like 27.5, 28 miles than 26.2. But we'll just keep that to ourselves. He can find this out when we get to the end and watch the YouTube. Anyway, I think our next big climb is Kinder Scout, which is the highest in the peaks. And then we drop down a little and run a ridge for a bit before we hit the last two. It's funny, we're an hour and a half in and we still haven't even hit the first climb. So I think we're doing the beginning of Kinder Scout now. It's quite windy, so I don't know if you can hear me, but we just climbed very steep steps all the way up,
I think we get to a plateau and then hang a left and do the final push to the top. Making it sound like a Mount Everest, it's 600 metres. Yeah, maybe it's up there. We've reached the top of something. I don't think it's Kinder Scout though, I think there's no writing on it. Have to have a look on Google, eh? Found it! Top of Kinder Scout. Just got to climb this little path and then go back the way we came for half a mile. On to the next one. It turns out we're not at Kinder Scout at all. We've missed it by going completely the wrong direction. Tom's terrible navigational skills.
You are joking.
But we have seen this nice rock formation.
Navigator. I mean, have you taken the right turn yet?
We've seen this lovely rock formation, which we wouldn't have got to see had we not taken the wrong turn. So yeah, now we've got to run back to Kinder Scout because we can't fail our mission on the first climb. We're back where we started, our first peak that we thought was Kinder Scout. We're now going to head that way. Well, you're with me, aren't you? You've got a phone. You checked it as well. We're going to head that way in the hope that that's the top. This does look like a better made path, to be fair, so it does make sense. We've gone the wrong way again. We've gone south of it, east of it, west of it. We can't find the top of Kinder Scout. How is there not a sign up here? It's the tallest peak in the Peak District. I think it's somewhere over there. We just cut left. Should we follow the path or just cut through? Just hike through. Do you think? We must have added on about a mile's worth of extra back and forth here. Google and Strava must have this wrong. We're literally walking through a bog and it's supposedly the main path to the highest peak in the Peak District. I do not get it. And I still can't see any peaks. There's no stones to mark it. I think we should have just stuck with the first one. It had a stone to mark it. What, Tom? This has got to be it. There's nothing there. There's literally nothing there. Jesus. We think we're at the top, and this is the shittest peak I've ever been up. We're going to check our phone in a minute to see. I've also had my Garmin paused for the last however long, so all this back and forth has just been a complete waste. Peak number one done. Let's get off this horrible heathland. This isn't a mountain. We're on the descent. Tom's rod and ankle. You enjoying this run so far? Just twisted my ankle. That's quite painful. There's this horrible kind of. This is alright, but this rocky bit up here I was having to run on because people were walking up the smooth bit and you just don't know where your stones are and your feet because there's so many of them and you're moving so quickly. It's going to hurt later on. I'm going to have to be really cautious for the rest of the run now. I twisted my ankle. Yeah. Are you whinging about doing more climbing? So that's what we just descended. Managed to get off it without breaking any more ankles. We have been at those stones at the top, and I think we're pretty much climbing back up to them. This is one of the little bonus climbs I must have added to avoid just running the skyline, because the whole point in coming to the peaks is to run some peaks. Well, you should be happy then.
Just do a leg burn.
That's a nasty little climb. Just looking at the route now, you can see that, but we've done sort of two of the biggest ones. Now we've got a little bit of a long descent before we drop down and then ascend Bleak Glow or High Stones. I'm not sure which one it is. basically just hiking through a bog now, which is definitely the right path, but we should have gone to the Lake District or Snowdon where it's a bit more rocky than boggy. What is this? Get me off this bogland! We finally found a runnable path! Woohoo! Look at it, beautiful, unboggy peatland. The sheep's going for this guy's lunch. You're not going to be able to see it. I have to try and crop him. It's really going for him. Oh, he's tried to lob some away. He wants what's in the box. So we've just come down that descent, which means we've completed the bottom loop of our figure of 8, the south loop, and now we head off north towards Bleak Glow and High Stones and the B29 bomber, whatever number it is, bomber. So I think we've got a bit more descent, one more really big climb for the Peak District, and then we're kind of on a plateau with some rolling hills for the final, and then drop back down to Glossop. We're just past halfway, which feels like we should be further on, but that was pretty difficult terrain the whole way along the top there, really boggy and horrible. It's fine though, we got all day. Three miles of beautiful plateaued stoned path with no bogs, and we're rewarded with an ice cream van at the end. I'm gonna get a drink. They've got to take card. It's 21st century. No Coke, but an icy cold tango. I'll do the job.
Really icy. Beautiful.
So we're 4 hours 20 minutes in, 18.7 miles, so about 31k. Pretty slow going. I think we've still got about another 10 miles, 16k to go.
Yeah, we've done most of the climbing there.
But we have done over 3/4 of the climbing. So
To be honest, it's more the terrain. Some of the terrain is so hard to run.
yeah, the next bit looks pretty runnable though actually. Looks like we carry on the kind of flat runnable bit for a bit, but I think we drop down left for another bonus climb. We've just turned off our beautiful groomed trail to head back down left, only to come back up to the same place just so we can add another 500 metres of vert. I'm really hoping this isn't another boggy track. If it is, might just turn back and not do the extra vert. Tom said he keeps turning his ankles. To be fair, turning things is his forte, so it's not a surprise really. Not quite sure where Tom's gone. Either he's broken his ankle and he's dying on the side of the mountain, or he's taking it really steady today compared to usual, or I've just become some demon descender after one run in Snowdon. I don't think that's the reason. Anyway, I think we've done most of this descent, and now we just have to do the final climb. Yeah, there you go. Final big kind of climb, and then it's just a couple of little peaks and a long descent. Easy. Going up there somewhere now. Well, walking isn't great for the YouTube, really. This is meant to be a run.
That is a hike.
It's kind of ruining the illusion that we're running a marathon in the peaks. This is our right turn, final climb via Doctor's Gate.
Need that doctor. That's
Yeah,
nice,
you can sort your legs out at Doctor's Gate, maybe.
CPR them. To the top. The bleak law.
Get off your phone! Feels like a bit of a novel concept after the terrain we've had today, but I've just given some running a go. Tom, on the other hand, I don't know if you can even see him. He seems to have given up with running. Anyway, how far have we got to go? It's a nice angle. 6.8 miles, still 11k to go. Mainly descent though. Here we go, climb number 2. So I think this is high shelf stones. I'm going to look at my phone while I wait for Tom, who is just about in sight over there. Still not running. That is not focusing at all, but I promise it says higher shelf stone. So that's climb number 2 done. Now we just head to the B29 bomber crash site, and then over to Bleaklow and down, I believe. And Bleaklow must just be over there somewhere. I think it's that little one in the light at the moment. So it's not really much of a climb, to be honest. We've done the climbing, which is nice, especially for Tom. You can run that! Here's the B29 crash site. Sad. The metaphor for Tom's legs at this moment in time.
That's functions as plane.
This peaty stuff at the top of these mountains is so difficult to navigate. Like, where is the path here? I mean, that's a river. There's a little path over there. There's a little path up there. Does it go through there? Thank God for Garmin watches. I can't go too far wrong. But we definitely struggled a little bit. I say we. I'm the only one who's got the route. I've struggled to navigate today on this quite boggy, similar terrain. Tom has struggled to run, but he is running now. You look like a gazelle, Tom. Don't stop.
I don't feel like a gazelle.
What do you feel like?
Warthog.
A warthog.
Open legs.
The warthog of the peaks. We're about to watch the broken-legged warthog cross the stream. That was slightly less painful than I hoped it would be. So we've just had another boggy hike for the past 10 minutes or so, but they put these glorious stones in at the end. It's like the yellow brick road in The Wizard of Oz. Beautiful and runnable. Oh yeah. Here we are, coming into the final of the 3 highest peaks. Bleaklow. There it is. So, we've got 8k to go now. I'm hoping it's quite a runnable descent. This horrible rocky stuff isn't particularly Tom just said, did you say 8k? This rocky stuff isn't particularly conducive to running speedily. It's just ploddy and definitely not with a camera. We've also got to tackle our bonus cock hill on the way home, which will be fun. I think. Are you looking forward to a bit of cock? You'd rather have a lunch than a cock? Yeah, well, we'll have a bit of cock first and then go for a lunch. We're being treated to some proper northern weather now. This is why I live in Cambridge. Grim. Man down, man down. There's the slip mark. That was almost death.
Almost fatality.
Almost death.
Oh!
Look at the mud on the inside of his legs. We've just sat down to enjoy the mighty views before our ascent of Cock Hill. It stopped raining, thankfully, but we are a bit wet.
Very wet.
Very wet.
Yeah. Looking forward to lunch though.
Yes. I mean, it's going to be dinner. Have you seen the time?
Is it dinner?
What time is it?
4
o'clock.
Right,
By the time we get down, it'll be dinner. It won't be
Lunch and dinner
lunch.
combined.
Linner. Right, let's get this cock over with. Jesus! Cock Hill's pretty hard to get up. It's quite bushy. Where did you fall? In a... That's where he fell. We made it! The final hill!
Oh, no.
The cock! That's it! Top of the cock! It's my second dinner.
Oh, I've lost his dinner.
Nice burger.
Yeah, I can do a burger.
That's terrible. Terrible thing to say. Here it is. Glorious Glossop. I hope it didn't listen to what I said about it earlier when we were leaving. We just need a nice greasy fish and chip shop now. I think we're staying this side, or we parked this side of Glossop as well, so we really shouldn't have far to go. We just got to find some little park. Woo! Here we are, back at the van. Boom shakamaka. How you feeling, Tom?
Pretty fucked.
Quick stats, 6 hours 55 minutes, 29.27 miles, although I didn't record some of it on that stupid heath, so it's probably more like 29.5 in 7 hours or something. That was a lot longer than I expected.
Yeah.
Look at him, straight into the food.
Food straight away.
Straight
There's a
in.
lot of like unrunnable extra sections, isn't there?
Yeah, yeah. A lot of walking or technical stuff after we twisted our ankles, but good training run nonetheless. Like 6,000 foot of climbing, so about 2,000 metres I think, which is more than I actually planned for. Disaster has struck. We tried to go to the fish and chip shop to get our greasy fish and chips, but they take cash only. They're tax evading, I won't say, but so we tried to go to a cash point, but you have to have a card to get cash out. We don't have our cards because we live in the 21st century, so we just pay for everything with our phones. Then we thought we'd go to Asda to see if they did cashback. They don't do cashback. We went to M&S to get some cookies, a protein shake, and see if they do cashback. They didn't have any cookies, they didn't have any protein shakes, and they only do cashback when you have a physical card. So now we're going to Wetherspoons, the worst of the worst. I haven't been to Wetherspoons in years, but they may do fish and chips, and they will take card, because I've ordered on their app with a card before. I'm sure it will taste good, whatever.